Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about my programming journey, how I started, and really the kind of projects that I used to make 4 years back and the kind of projects that I work on now. I'm also going to tell you how that journey took an entrepreneurial twist and really how I really got to this point in my life, starting from someone who did not know what he wanted to do, who didn't really know what his goal in life was, and who didn't really know what he really, had the potential to do. So I was just following the trend, okay? Now what I was really doing in the beginning was, I got into a computer science degree, basically a computer science program. It wasn't even computer science. I got into an IT program in basically Guru Gobind Indraprasth University, so GGSIPU. I'm not sure how many of you know that. It's a university in Delhi, but yeah, it's basically one of the universities that you go to that comes, you could say, after the IITs, NITs, and everything. Basically, it's not amongst the top universities. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I went into that university, okay. I don't know what I was doing. I just knew that I had an interest in computers. I just knew that I love playing games, and I would love to, do a lot more than that. And that was the point in my life when I had really no direction. I did not know what I was going for. I didn't really know, I was just following the trend. That's all you could say. I was preparing for IITs. I got into this university. I was like, okay, let's just go over here, and that's how I landed up in there. I was never someone who had any direction. I was never someone who knew what he wanted to do. I thought that, all right, maybe I'll just pursue this degree, study for my masters, maybe go for my masters to the US, complete my program, and yeah, just get a job like everyone else. So that was my whole career plan. I never really thought about it. And it's important that you kind of you have to think about these things, because as much as the society will kind of try to ingrain that into your mind, that all right, this is the right way, this is the right path, keep traveling in this straight line, and you'll get to that point where you want to, that point where you want to get to, no one really knows that unless they go ahead and explore. So a lot of things, let me actually tell you how I, what really my journey was about, how I explored a lot and how I learned a lot. Okay, so back when I started with my program, again, this website was built by me in my third year, I believe, because I saw one of my seniors who got into one of these internships by CERN. Those of you who don't know, Google it. CERN is a big organization. I'm sure you've read about it again, but he got into CERN for an internship, and basically CERN gives out internships to people all over the world, and it's headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland, I believe. So he went over there, and basically he worked on a research project. And I was really fascinated, and one of the things that he talked about was having this portfolio, building this for you, and kind of keeping in touch with, really, it's really more like a one place where you can list down all of your projects and all of the work that you have done. Okay, so this was my simple website, the home, about. Again, I did not design it. I just copied some of the designs. I just knew basic front-end development, so I could do all of this, right? I can add any of the technologies over here. So these are the technologies that I've worked on. Then something about myself, and then about my resume. Basically, this would just take you to my resume. That's all it's doing. Okay, then there's my portfolio. This is where all of my projects are listed down, all of my projects for my internships, and the ones that I did for myself also. So all of these things are listed down over here. This was, by the way, one of my first projects. I don't really have it running, but this was just one of the hospital management systems. I'm sure all of you have done something of the sort, but I learned Java in my second year, I believe. And I built this hospital management system. Again, most of the projects over here, you can find a demo for that, but some of these, which I've kind of lost the code and which have stopped working because some technologies have stopped supporting them or something of that sort, well, those are the ones which you won't really find a demo for. Okay, so there's a lot of projects that I did, basically. So recognition classifier, CAT classifier, and all of these image recognition website where I use the API from Microsoft. So these were really the simple projects that I was doing, really simple projects. Then you can see that I slowly got into data analysis. slowly got into software development, so slowly into web development and all of those things. That's really when I kind of started working internships. And this is one of the projects from my hackathons, where I kind of worked a little bit on NLP. You can see, you can just write down a hashtag name. Let's say you want to start with, I don't know, let's just go with iPhone only. Okay, so let's search for the tweets. Again, my internet over here is a little slow, so it might take a little bit of time. But essentially what it does, it goes on to Twitter, uses their API, and kind of, classifies some tweets as positive, negative, and neutral. All right, so basically, they're gonna give you all the tweets over here, the positive ones, the negative ones, and basically there's a lot of things as well. You can find these names that you can compare it with. So these are also auto-generated. Like you can write anything and we'll find what you can compare it with, and we'll give you the list of options. Okay, you can also enter your own based on these hashtags and all of these simple projects really. But this was not really a very simple one. Maybe someone who's been in computer science, for them it's kind of simple, basically just using the libraries and everything. We didn't really do a lot of hard work here. But yeah, for someone who's new to computer science, this might be a little complicated. But don't worry, you can get to this sort of a project within the first 2 to 3 years of your journey in computer science. Okay, so that was my really intuition, and that was really how I was starting to build projects and starting to work towards something. Okay, that was the point. Now this was the point when I started doing more and more internships. Okay, I worked on this internship with Wakil Disk. I worked on their website on Django. I really enjoyed it, and I really learned a lot about web development. And what I really thought was, all right, let me actually go home, and in my free time, I really used to have any free time, juggling my internship, my college, and then there was the GRE preparation, TOEFL preparation. But I thought, in my free time, I'll build a website for myself. That's gonna be all by me, and it's gonna be a great project to show everyone, not only just the university professors that I'm working with right now for my final year project, but also the admissions committee when I apply for my master's. So I thought, all right, let's do something of that sort. Okay, so I started building a couple of projects, and I saw that what I was really interested in was that, all right, I have the project now. Okay, I'm starting to build it. I know how to build it because I did an internship. Okay, I know how to go about the project, but no one's signing up. Why is no one signing up on my website? I mean, it's pretty cool. It has a good layout. It has everything. Okay, I did club with one of my team members. One of the students from my college, and we started working through these projects. But why was no one signing up? And that was when I started getting into a little bit of business. Like I need to market, I need to work on all of these things. So before I even get to sales and selling anything, I need to basically learn about marketing. So I learned about marketing. I learned about how I can kind of do things that will persuade people to sign up on my website. How I can really kind of get an audience. All right, I started working towards that, and side by side I was also working on my YouTube channel. As you guys might know, like this channel itself, that was like 1 year ago. I was working on, when I finished my GRE preparation and I took the test, I got a really awesome score. So I started working on this channel. I kind of started guiding people towards that, and from there we kind of did the whole journey. But the whole point is that if you're doing somewhere around very simplistic projects, if you're doing something that kind of just sorts numbers and does all of these things, don't worry about it. You will get to a point where you will be able to do really complicated projects which people can't even think of at the moment, which you can't even think of at the moment. It's really about letting the journey kind of guide you through, So once I started learning marketing, I learned that the website I was building was not in cohesion with the YouTube channel that I was doing. So after 1 or 2 websites like that, I kind of started YM-Grad, where we kind of help you with your masters and with your we have over 12,000 students registered on this website right now. 12,000 is a huge number for someone who's been running a website in I think less than 6 months. It's been less than 6 months. So it's really a huge website, and I believe that a lot of the things that I've learned were not from this project, but I kind of built up to this point that I was able to do something like that I was able to not only build a startup, but we have so many users now. So basically, sorry, not only a project, but we had to register it as a startup and basically, get a license and everything. So yeah, it's more about the journey. I mean, you never know where you might end up with something. I was someone who had no direction in life, but once I started working, once I started doing, what I liked side by side, I did not leave my studies. Okay, that's something that you want to take care of. Don't leave your studies, don't quit your studies. But at the same time, also, just keep on going towards your goal side by side. Work on something that you might be interested in. Okay, this is what interests me, so I started working towards that. If something else interests you, maybe music or something, create content on that, put it online. That's the best way. You get feedback from people for free. You get feedback, and if you're really good at a point, people will start paying you for that. People will think that, all right, this person really knows what they're doing, and if you are an expert in the field and you can show it online, people will pay you good money for that. So it really depends on what your goals are and how much of really a hustle lifestyle you're willing to take. How much are you willing to hustle? If you just want to go back home, watch Netflix and play video games, like I used to have, if you see my older videos, I used to have a PlayStation in my hostel room, even a TV. So my room was one of the coolest rooms ever. Not everyone had that sort of luxury that they could just come back after their college, or not even go to college, but play video games all day. And it was like a PlayStation 4. It was really cool, trust me. It's still in my home. It's just packed up right now because I don't play. But I stopped playing it. Why? Because this was something that I was doing that interested me so much. When I interacted with you guys, when I kind of helped you guys through some things, and I got some feedback that, all right, you helped me achieve this goal, you helped me, get into this university, your videos helped me do all of that. It's such an enriching experience that I wanted to do more and more and more. And that's why we built the website. That's why we have over 12,000 users right now. That's why we are, trying to help you in every way we can. We're expanding at a pace that we never imagined. It's really about your, will. And let me tell you, if you really are interested in something, that you're doing on the side, maybe you're interested in music, like I said, you're doing that on the side, but school is going on, and let's say you're pursuing technology, Bachelor of Technology. By the time you finish school, your goal should be to make, as much money from your music that anyone else is making on an average who's graduating from your university. So let's say if you're graduating and someone is making $10,000 a year, then what you want to do is make sure that you are able to make $10,000 a year with your music. I don't care if you put it online, I don't care if you do concerts, but whatever you do, if your passion is paying you the average or even a little less of what the other person is making after getting that degree, then I think it's a good way to know that, all right, if you, by the way, if you have some savings left also, then you can kind of take the risk, quit your whole journey that society has ingrained in your mind, and go forward with what you really like, what you really want to do. Okay, so that's all about my journey. This is where I am right now, and this is kind of, I think that there's a lot remaining. This is just the start. A lot of people might think that I've accomplished a lot. A lot of people say that, but to me, I think this is something that any of you guys can do. Literally, any of you guys. If you have the willpower, if you really are interested in what you're doing, I don't know. I mean, the moment I used to wake up, I remember this used to happen in college also, at my hostel also, and this still happens. The moment I wake up, I open my laptop and I start working. Okay, I would, of course, I brush my teeth and eat and everything, but I open my laptop and I start working. And before the moment I sleep, I am working towards my goals again. I'm reading, I'm learning more and more, I'm educating myself. Okay, I'm studying. So all of these things come into the picture. How do you want to spend your day? That's all up to you. Again, I'm gonna do another video. I'm gonna be posting this one, the next one, maybe tomorrow or within this week itself. I'm gonna tell you my exact schedule, the exact schedule that I follow, and the exact schedule that I used to follow. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 years back, and you're gonna see how it has changed me. You're gonna see how everything's changed. Alright guys, so that's really my journey. That's the kind of projects that I used to do in the past, the kind of projects that I'm doing right now. Now these are not really projects. It's more of a startup really. It's kind of a huge project because I'm not the only one working on it right now. A lot of people other than me also, who are employed, the employees are also working on this project. So it's not really a project, I would say it's a startup, but yeah, we're growing at a good pace, and it's all thanks to you guys, of course. So thank you so much for letting me follow my passion, and I hope that this video helps you in understanding how you can follow yours. Okay. Yeah, that's all I want to talk about. If you want to get in touch with me and connect with me over let's say Instagram, that's where I'm really active. I would love to know about your passions, and really, what is the one thing that you like from this video? Comment below. But if you want to get in touch with me, find me on my Instagram, and we'll definitely have a good conversation about that. All right. Thank you so much for really watching this video to the end. I don't expect anyone to be interested in my journey, but if this is what you like, if you are interested in this, I'll be happy to create more content like this. Just comment below, let me know what kind of content you'd like to see about my journey, and I would be happy to share it. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.